Hey guys, welcome back to another interview here on Toned In Entertainment. Today, I am joined by the Hitman for hire, Mr. Grimm. How are you doing today, Mr. Grimm?
I'm doing alright. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. You know, something very interesting. The first time I sent you a message on Facebook Messenger, you get an automatic response. And it says that you're busy body bagging somebody. Can I ask who you were body bagging, or is that professional courtesy?
I mean, you could ask, but I mean that doesn't mean that I'm gonna, give that information.
Well, can you tell me, or?
I could, but will I?
Yeah. I don't think I want to take the chance. I've seen you do some damage. I've seen your videos on YouTube. And this past week, you were on AEW Dark, and you wrestled the monster himself, Wardlow, and you gave Wardlow a run for his money.
If that's what you want to call giving him a run for his money, I was just, caught off guard from the jump.
Right.
So, I don't think I ever really recovered from it.
Oh, I mean, he's a beast, isn't he?
I mean, he is. I mean, I'm, not taking anything from him, but I will say I haven't wrestled since March, so I was a little rusty. That first bump that he got me with, I was like, oh, this is what it feels like. Yeah.
Right. Well, you gave him a little bit of a challenge. I've seen him just go through guys and just tear them up. So, I mean, other than Cody Rhodes, I think you're right after him for giving him a run for his money.
I mean, I would say so. Hopefully there's a round two, and if it is, I'll be more prepared and know he'll shoot on me.
How exciting was it to kind of like get the call to find out that you were going to be on a episode of AEW Dark?
Funny thing about it, I didn't even know that I was on until probably what was it? Maybe 2 hours after I got to the venue. Like, I was there, just thinking I'm going to be an extra talent to help out, whatever. And then I go and look on the board, and, my name is there. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't expect my name to be on the board. So it was, I was just as shocked as everybody else was.
Okay, so you were kind of going there just to be, in the crowd, for crowd noise or whatnot?
I mean, honestly, whatever they needed help with. That's what I was going there for. I didn't expect the match. I didn't expect to do half of the stuff that I did, but, it happened, and, I stepped up to the plate.
Right. Yeah, no, it's pretty cool because, I noticed you right away. As soon as I saw your match, I reached out to you so we can make this interview happen. So, definitely you made an impression, so definitely a good thing.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Now, I know things have been crazy. Obviously, you haven't wrestled since March. Do you have any upcoming matches coming up?
I have a match in Delaware, I believe the 28th of June. That's my next one. It's it's a part of the Chapel Cup. And it's like a tag team tournament, for one of our fallen brothers. His name was Eric Chappell, and, he was a victim of, suicide. So every year they hold a Chapel Cup, to remember him.
Okay. And I did see you on a flyer for a GCW event in Indiana in August as well.
Yeah, that's not Game Changer. It's the
Generation Championship Wrestling. Yeah.
Because a lot of people get them mixed up, and yeah, I mean, I was supposed to debut at GCW for Mania Week. I was in a body bag casket match against Chuckles the Clown, and it never happened. So I don't know who they're putting me up against, but it's a 2-day, food festival that they're doing a show at, and he had me at food. So.
Right. Well, I can tell you, I was at the GCW event in February in Tampa, and it was like the chocolate festival down here, and they had wrestling going on at the same time. And there was a lot of food there, so you're not going to be disappointed. I know Gomez, the promoter, personally. I've interviewed him here on the channel as well, covered his events, and I know he brings it when he says he's going to bring food and wrestling, so I think it's definitely going to be an awesome event out there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Like being back in the ring, but definitely the food.
Yeah,
Because I heard he does know how to, throw a food party, and I'm trying to see what that's all about.
definitely. Is there one type of food that you would go to, like right after the match? Like, what would be your food to go to, like at this, like maybe this big food truck festival?
If it was one there, probably a seafood truck.
Okay.
Maybe try to get like a crab cake or like some crab legs or something. I don't know if they have them or not, but definitely like a crab cake. Or like maybe a lobster po' boy or something like that.
Okay, that sounds good. Now, you said that you were supposed to wrestle Chuckles the Clown, and I've actually, again, interviewed Chuckles the Clown here on this channel, so I think that'd be a great match if we could see you versus Chuckle, because I think your two styles would go well together, and he's definitely an interesting character if you do get in the ring with him.
Yeah, I've seen some of his work. He is very unique,
Yeah.
to say the least. And to be honest, like, anybody that I get in the ring with, I always want to go out there and kill it. And, like, I want to give the fans their money's worth, because the fans, they don't have to, support us. They choose to spend their hard-earned money to come and see us. So I want to make sure, I create moments for them that they'll always remember.
Right. And that's what's great is, like, finally I'm down here in Florida, and finally we're kind of seeing the light to where some of the events here in the next couple of weeks, they're going to do outdoors, and they're going to be able to have some fans here. I know there's another event in July down here that's hoping to have fans indoors, so hopefully we're kind of getting past this little crazy era, and we can get back to a little bit of normalcy and come out and watch you guys perform again.
Yeah, I hope so, because this is taking a toll on a lot of the wrestlers out here, because, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one, but this is like, wrestling is something that helps me, with my emotional, stability. And not having, that outlet has really been affecting me, and, it's really affecting me. And, like, I've had to find other avenues to venture off to try to, fill the void to keep everything level. Nothing illegal, but...
If it is, we're not going to... you are a hitman for hire. I wouldn't say nothing illegal, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, well, we won't go there. We won't get there. We'll plead the fifth. That's it.
Yo, is that a Venom Thanos shirt that you have on?
It is, actually. It's a Venomized Thanos shirt that came with the actual Funko Pop. It's actually back here. I don't know if you can see it.
I'm a big Venom fan, and I'm a big Thanos fan. And, like, just to see that shirt, I was thinking, I'm like, yo, maybe I should take that off his corpse when I finish with him. But,
Oh, I don't think I could stop you. You're probably a much tougher guy than I am.
Look, we got to wear the face mask. I'll be like, hey, guy, look, does this smell like chloroform?
So you're just going to do it that simple.
Hey, you got to put a mask on.
Right, yeah, you got to be safe. Although, I don't know if that's going to be too safe for me, so I don't know. Yeah, no, it's funny. I've actually had this shirt. I bought it like 2 months ago, and I was just kind of like cleaning up today, and it was still in the box. And I'm like, you know what? I haven't even opened this. I opened the shirt, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to wear it for one of the interviews today. I'm glad I picked the right interview to wear it for then.
Yeah, honestly, you wearing that shirt has gotten you, a body bag immunity ticket.
Whew. Yes. I'm going to keep that immunity ticket. I'm going to remind you that when I see you live. Like, look, I got the immunity ticket.
It's not a lot of people that get those, but that shirt is definitely, gotten you one.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. I don't know if you can see it from here, but it has like a whole thing on the back. It's like the entire Funko Pop on the back.
As soon as we get off, I'm going to try to find a shirt like that now. I need, like, I'm a big collector of, like, shirts, and the whole week, the whole 2 weeks that I was at doing work with AEW, I had on, like, a different Marvel, a different DC, like, character shirt, and Christopher Daniels, he had walked past, and I want to say I had on Deadpool. It was either Deadpool or Wolverine. He was like, hey, that's a nice shirt, man. I was like, thanks. Like, every single day I wore, something either Marvel or DC. And the very last day, I wore my Star Wars Darth Vader shirt.
Okay.
So,
well, I can tell you this shirt, if you're looking for this one specifically, it's box lunch exclusive. Like, it came as a combo, so you had to get the Funko Pop and the shirt together. It came as like a box combo. So if you're looking for this one specifically, box lunch, I am taking donations for advertisement too right now, but yeah, you can't find it. That's where you can find it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure somebody's selling it online. People that get those and then sell the items. Or even like if it's a makeshift one, a bootleg one, somebody's gonna have some kind of shirt like that. So
that's true. That's true. Now, what made you like just one day realize that like professional wrestling, this is what you wanted to do?
I've always wanted to be a professional wrestler. I just didn't know how to get into it.
Okay.
It happened when I came back from college. I was playing football there. And it was like the summertime, and I was working. And one of my, my friend, he came up to me and was like, "Hey man, are you trying to do security for a wrestling show?" And I was like, "Look, get paid to, watch people beat each other. Why not?" So like when I got there, I went backstage. I saw Black G's, Greg Excellence, Mia Yim, Christian York. And it's like, I'm looking at all these people. I didn't know who they were at first, but now, I was like, I was in the locker room with a lot of legit people. And I started networking and started talking to them. And I asked, what would I have to do to be a wrestler? And they said, first thing is first, you need to find a good school to train at. So I found a school, started training, the rest was history.
Now, I did see like a little documentary that you have on YouTube, and when you first came out, you went with the whole football gimmick. You had the football pads, the helmet, and you kind of said like in the documentary, like, okay, this isn't going to work. Like, I definitely got to find something else to get yourself over.
Yeah, that gimmick was always, temporary. Even when I first came up with it, it was temporary because the gimmick that I wanted was something dealing with Grim. Like, it wasn't supposed to be that character, but the fact that the place that I train, they say, hey, if you have a character or have a gimmick already, you can get on quicker. So I was like, I'm already one with football, and I've been doing it, for the past couple of years. Why not just have a football gimmick and go from there? So that's pretty much what I did. And I mean, I'm glad that I did that. Even though the gimmick sucked, it started getting better towards the end where I was, before, I killed it off. But it was just, I got a chance to live, learn, make mistakes, learn about the different psychology, be on the road and stuff like that. And if I would have waited, just like had like a regular gimmick or just some guy, oh, hey, look, I'm going to be Joe Blow with no gimmick, I can always say that I've had a gimmick, from day one. So, yeah.
No, it's true because I've been watching wrestling since the 80s, and, like, gimmicks have always been a part of wrestling, and I think you got to have a little something else extra other than being, really good in the ring. It's just that little thing that helps people, remember you just a little bit more.
Yeah, I totally agree. Because, just like we were talking about with Chuckles, his gimmick is so unique, and the way that he portrays it, it's like, it's very believable, and he's different.
Right. I can tell you I've never been hit with a rubber chicken doing an interview ever before, other than when I interviewed Chuckles the Clown. Which is pretty interesting.
He needs to keep those rubber chickens to himself.
Yeah, definitely. Now, football guy, any favorite players you had watching growing up?
Well, I didn't really start watching football until... I watched it, but I really wasn't a fan per se until, I got, a little older. When, I really started getting into it was the Madden where Donovan McNabb was on the cover.
Okay, I think he was with the Eagles in that one?
Yeah. Okay. It was either Donovan McNabb or Marshall Faulk. One of those two Maddens was when I started getting into it. Like one day, I was playing and my brother picked the Eagles, beat the living shit out of me with the Eagles, and I was like, "Yo, who's this team?" Ever since then, started liking the Eagles. I've been an Eagles fan ever since.
Okay.
Started like keeping up with football because, I'm a type of person, I don't like losing. So I started, learning football and, like learning the plays and stuff like that. And yeah, started getting really good at it. Then I started playing it and, one thing led to another.
Right. It's interesting how like a video game character can make us like appreciate an entire sport. Because I know like growing up I played Tecmo Bowl. And like I remember seeing like Lawrence Taylor and Bo Jackson for the first time. And it was like I had to find out who these guys were. It's so interesting how like just so simple as a video game can make you a fan of something.
Like with Tecmo Bowl though, you would see like you score a touchdown, I would just say the name and have like the hand or whatever. I'm like, I used to play Tecmo Bowl.
Oh man, it's such a great game even to go back and play now. On like the emulators, you can find it online and just play some games and just take Bo Jackson and just go with it and just have fun with it. Now, as far as like wrestling inspirations, any inspirations there?
As far as what?
Like wrestlers that you looked up to.
Alright, so don't take this the wrong way. But one of the wrestlers that I looked up to a lot, like even when I was like really young, was Chris Benoit.
Okay.
I love his drive. I love the fact that, he wasn't the biggest person in the ring, but he was so aggressive, so vicious, and it was just like, damn, like this dude right here, like he be messing stuff up. Another person was on Raven, and the reason, I kind of, Raven inspired me was because he was different. He wasn't like the other wrestlers, and he did things his way. Like, he didn't give a damn about how you felt about him, what you thought about him. He was still going to do things his way. And that kind of helped me out in, my personal life because, back in the day before I actually learned how to fight and started fighting, like, I used to get bullied and stuff. So it's like, because I was different, people, bully me, talk about me and stuff like that. But watching him and seeing, he's not the ideal, person walking around. And because he didn't give a damn about what anybody thought and he still did things his way, it made me feel like the same way. I'm like, if y'all can't accept me, then I don't give a damn. Like, I'm going to still do what I want to do and be who I want to be.
Right. No, Raven was always such a great character. He had the flock, and he was. What about me? What about Raven? He really didn't care. He just sat in the corner, would do his thing. And as far as Chris Benoit goes, I think we can all have like that healthy conversation because we all know what happened, tragically at the end. But I've told people many times too, growing up, like my favorite wrestler of all time has always been Sting. But my number 2 wrestler growing up was Chris Benoit. Like, I love Chris Benoit. He was a guy, because I was a hardcore WCW guy growing up too, and he was a guy when he left with the Radicals to go to WWF is when I started watching them because I followed him and I liked Eddie and all those other guys. But like I was like the biggest Chris Benoit fan growing up too, and we all know what happened. But as far as his in-ring abilities, nobody can deny what he put on in the ring. That's for sure.
Like, he was a beast. And, don't get me wrong, I was a fan of Sting, like, when I was younger. But as I got older, I realized, don't take this the wrong way, but Sting wasn't really as great as I thought he was. I'm not going to take anything away from him. He's definitely a legend. But it's just, like, looking at him and looking at Chris Benoit, it's like, you really can't compare the two. Because Sting really used his gimmick to kind of get over the whole face paint, the bad, the enigmatic attitude about him. But Chris Benoit, he was like a smash mouth, I'm gonna just come beat you up and put you to sleep. And one of my favorite matches was Chris Benoit versus Raven. I believe it was at Sold Out
They were fighting for like a TV title or something like that, I think.
I'm not sure if it was for a title or not, but
Okay.
it was definitely like, they were in a heated storyline. And, Chris Benoit, like, got him in the crippler's crossface. And he started laughing Raven started laughing while he was in it, and then just went to sleep. And I was like, wow, yeah.
Yeah, no, those are definitely some, like, good times in wrestling. Now, when you're not wrestling and not traveling, because a lot of people don't really understand, like, when you're an independent wrestler, like, how much traveling time goes into, like, going from place to place. Like, your weekends or weeks are totally consumed. When you do have a little bit of free time, what is Mr. Grimm doing?
I'm usually with my kids. I'm a big family guy, and if you saw the documentary, you see a lot of times they come with me. And it's the fact that, I really didn't have my dad in my life growing up. So I wanted to make sure that my kids never felt the way that I felt. So I never want them to think that wrestling comes first, even though I'm trying to use this as a gateway to, help them down the line, financially, and help them not to have to worry about anything. I never want them to feel that this comes before them, because at any given moment, this can be taken away. Your kids will always be your kids, and, I want them to know that, like, they come first. If it came down to it, even though it would be, like, a very, I wouldn't say a tough decision, but it would be hard to, have to live with it. But if it came down to wrestling to them, they would always, like, I would throw wrestling away in a heartbeat. So, but it's, definitely hanging out with my kids. I write, like, a little poetry. I work out. I like playing Call of Duty, Mortal Kombat. And, like, other thing that I like doing, sometimes I just like, going to the water, like, sitting by the water and just, like, thinking, because sometimes, like, life sucks, and we don't always have the answers to why things happen. So when I can go to a place and just sit and, hear the water and just have a breeze, blowing it, helps get me level.
Right. No, it's nice to just sometimes, like, it's almost like, healing for the mind and the body, just to kind of go out and let nature just take care of you sometimes. You don't need medicine or anything like that. Sometimes just nature can take care of it all.
That is true.
Yeah. Who's your go-to character in Mortal Kombat?
I would say either Noob, Saibot, or Cabal.
Okay. So you're that guy online?
Yes.
Yes.
And
with the Noob Saibot that people are throwing their controllers down.
Like, I'm telling you, like, I use a lot of the help with Noob. Like, I'll just throw his shadow at you. Like, if you're trying to run, throw him, and then I'll push him. I believe it's up, down, or down, up, to where he goes up and then takes you.
Oh, yeah, he does a teleport? Yeah. Yeah, you're that guy. You're that guy I played against. Because I usually use Katana or Baraka. Those are the two characters I like to use. But Noob Saibot is like the guy that's like, as soon as he comes on the screen, you just want to throw the controller down and just be like, I have to deal with this guy again.
What the game is going to be. Like, and I've modified my character to where I gave him that move. It's one move that's unblockable. And it's like that little cloud. So it's like a lot of people hate that too, because it's like, they're not expecting all of a sudden you get a cloud thrown at you, and it's like, damn.
You can't block it. Now, what else is going on with Mr. Grimm? What else should we look out for? I mean, I know you've got some shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees, at least 3 shirts that I saw. What else is going on with Mr. Grimm?
I have the shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees. I also have an account or profile on brownbutterwrestling.com. I have 2 more shirts on there. One is actually the same. It's a cereal shirt, but they just do it differently than the ones on Pro Wrestling Tees. They actually put the whole picture on the shirt and not like in a little rectangular box. Okay. And I also have the the kind of Pokemon one on there where it's like gotta bag them all. I'll actually send you that that picture. But I mean, just right now, you know, after everything that's happened, I'm definitely gonna be getting my body ready, because like I really, you know, I'm not gonna say too much, but you know, I just need to make sure I'm ready, like for anything that comes up. So you know, I'm going back on my diet, you know, gonna up my working out, you know, and just kick it to another gear, man, because you know, like I said, I didn't expect to get the opportunity that I got, and it actually went well. So I want to make sure that, you know, any other opportunities that come, you know, I'm ready for it.
Right. No, that's awesome. Because, like, you know, with AEW, like, I'm a religious watcher of AEW. I'll tune into WWE and other stuff, like, you know, when I have time, or, like, the big pay-per-views and stuff like that. But I do watch Dark, and I do watch Dynamite every single week. So it's been nice to see a lot of guys. I mean, guys, I've actually got the interview here on the channel, like Serpentico, Fabu Andre, and now you, and Chico Adams. And, like, every week, it's like I'm getting to see, like, not even like guys that I'm familiar with, but meet new guys through TV, which is really awesome. And I'm glad you got that opportunity. You know, hopefully you'll get that revenge match against Wardlow one of these days. But no, it's really cool that you guys are getting that opportunity. Glad to see that AEW has something like Dark, where they don't have to like fit a TV time, and they can put on 10 matches on a Tuesday night if they want to, and just give new eyes to guys like you.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's definitely helped, because, you know, it's like, I mean, I'm sure you've heard of me before, but it's like right after that, then we set up an interview. Like, I've gotten interview requests from multiple people right now. Like, I have another interview tomorrow. I think I have another interview on Sunday, and it's like, you know, everybody wants to talk, and it's like, damn, it took for me to, you know, appear on AEW to get people's attention. But, you know, sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles, and you just have to go with it.
Right. Especially, I think, you know, for, like, we're not in the same area, so for me to do an interview with you, like, I love doing my interviews in person. Like, I love with the microphone and the interaction and whatnot, but obviously due to the whole COVID thing, and due to, you know, some travel restrictions, obviously, like, I've decided to kind of go in this direction as well, because I'm like, otherwise, like, I watch a lot of independent wrestling on YouTube. I watch it all the time, so it's like, I've kind of decided to go like that, because I've interviewed probably at least 40 independent wrestlers here on the channel, so I figured, you know what, like, in Florida, there's only so many, so I figured I'm going to start doing this, and, you know, it is true. When you're on AEW, when you're on TV, you do get people's attention a little faster, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, because I've had, like, people that, you know, I thought, you know, didn't like me, or I know for a fact that they didn't like me, you know, reach out and, you know, congratulate me and stuff like that. And then other people who, like, they'll start the message off like, oh, yeah, well, I know we haven't talked in a while. Here we go again.
Right.
But, you know, I'm very grateful for everybody who reached out, because at the end of the day, they didn't have to. But it's just like, it just seems like it's very coincidental,
yeah,
so to speak.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. But it is like, it is an attention grabber whenever you see anybody that you're familiar with on TV, and your friends are tagging you in pictures and they're reposting it, and, you know, I think it just comes with the territory.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, Mr. Grimm. I mean, where else can people follow you?
I have a YouTube, I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, and the best way to find me on any platform, go to any search bar that you have. You know, like Google, Chrome, Firefox, whatever. Type in the Hitman for Hire Mr. Grimm, or type in Mr. Grimm Wrestler, and all of my stuff will pop up.
Oh, you made it simple.
I did.
You did. Very smart. Awesome. Well, I know you're a busy guy. I know you've been doing a lot of stuff, and definitely thank you for your time. And hopefully, you know, like, we'll come across each other's paths at a show, so I get to see you wrestle live. Maybe we can have a little bit more fun with another interview one of these days and catch up with you. But definitely much success here in the future, and hoping to see you on TV again here very soon.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, have a good night, and definitely good luck with everything.
All right. right, you too. Be safe.
All right, subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now.